Want to know how to render like this or like this? Well, then let me show you how to. Hi guys, I'm Rosie Sweethearts, and today I'll be showing you how to render and draw like me. Here I'm drawing a circle for the head, and for the jawline, I just draw it in, make sure it looks nice. And I also had a cross like you do in every other face tutorial. For the eyes, I draw these rhombus thingies, and for the nose, I draw a circle. Here I'm adding in the bottom and upper tear ducts, if that's what you call it, and I'm also adding the thick little eyelashes. Here I'm adding the actual spiky eyelashes, and I also add them to the bottom ones, to the bottom tear ducts. And I like my eyebrows to be pretty thick, as you see here. If it doesn't look good, I just crop it a little bit. And here I'm drawing the bottom eyelashes. Please make sure your eyes are looking in the same direction. And I also draw in the upper and lower lids. I draw in two little triangles for the nose and a circle for the highlight. Here I'm drawing the mouth. Please make sure you flip your canvas, it's really important. Drawing the rest of the bangs and hair. I also make sure that the hair is coming at the point and not at anywhere else. It's really important. Anyways, I've merged the layer down, and I also flip the canvas to fix my mistakes. Make sure you do this regularly as well, okay? And then I set my line art to alpha lock, and then I changed the color of my eyes to a darker color. But I use the same color for the hair and the skin. Then I do selection and I color it, my drawing in with gray. Then I add a new layer and clip it. This kind of takes long, not gonna lie, but it's worth it. Anyways, I set my line art layer off to alpha lock again, so I can change the color of my hair to a dark color. Then I fill in the color for my eyes, and I also fill in the mouth color. Here you can see I'm darkening it a bit. Now we can get started with the actual rendering. Once you've laid down your base colors, you're gonna add a new layer and set it and choose a color, any color you want. I'm going for a bit of a sort of orangey reddish tone, like you can see here. I kind of make sure it's a bit saturated or desaturated. Then I set the layer to multiply. Then I lower the opacity a bit. Around 47 or 41 is my maximum opacity. And then I get started with the actual rendering. So what I'd like to do first is erase the parts where the highlights are gonna be, like the tip of the nose, the eyes. I also like to smudge or blur it a bit so it looks a bit more blended in. And then I also do this to my eyes a bit, and the teeth if I have an open mouth. Remember, you can do it anywhere you like, but make sure you know where your light is heading. You can just draw an imaginary little sun and just take it from the point of view from your sun, your light source, whatever it is, and see where the light will head. Then you can erase those parts. I also like to do this on my eyelids. Then I also blur in those parts a bit, and I also like to add some highlights onto the hair. It gives us this more natural feeling. If I'm doing this to lighter colors of hair, I lower the opacity of the eraser a bit, and then I erase the parts where the highlights are gonna hit. And I also like to blur the eyelids, you know. And then I set my layer to alpha lock and choose this sort of reddish color and use an airbrush and just brush it around the parts where the highlights are. It just gives it this more natural feeling, you know. It looks really cool. I think it's called subsurface scattering, whatever it is. It looks really cool. And I just blur it a bit, just a little. But I have to turn off alpha lock before this. That way it's a bit easier. Sometimes I forget to do this because I'm very lazy and forgetful. I like to also blur in these little sides of the eyes, if you know what I mean, like when it connects to the eyebrows and the nose. So yeah, I just blur it in with the reddish color. Just follow what I'm doing, guys. Follow what I'm doing. Anyways, I also blurred the actual highlights a bit, just a bit, so that it doesn't show too much light. And then I do the same for the teeth. Again, if my mouth is open, then I do this. And then I add a new layer and put it below the multiply layer. Then I like to choose a dark bluish purple color and then start rendering the eyes. I just draw over it a bit to give it a more refined look rather than the dark brown I chose. Then I just fill in the blue. You can do the same with different colors. I'm just choosing my regular bluish purple here, okay? I just like how it looks. But it's totally fine if you want to choose another color. It's your choice. I'm not your mom, okay? And I also use this method on the other eye, but if I'm feeling lazy, I just copy paste it. But sometimes that doesn't work, so I have to draw it in manually. But I recommend drawing it in manually because it doesn't give this demonic looking eye feeling. But if you want, you can do it. It's fine, okay? It's fine. But it also is kind of annoying since it's kind of like the part that takes a bit longer than the rest. I mostly focus on the eyes and not anything else. I just don't know why, okay? Just don't question me why I do this, okay? And I just do this. Sometimes my eyelashes don't look good, and then I'm gonna have to do it all over again, which is really tiring, by the way. But sometimes, if you're lazy, just copy paste it, okay? Don't make the same mistakes as I do. But mistakes are crucial in learning, but just please don't do the same mistakes as I did. Then I started refining the eyelashes, both upper and lower. I make sure they're not too pointy, and if they have some sort of weird intersection, I touch it up a bit with the eraser. Something kind of like here in the last eyelash. As you can see here, I'm gonna refine it a bit. My eyelashes don't look too right, so I do this. And it's totally fine if your previous color is showing underneath the new color. It's totally fine, okay, guys? You don't have to do the same mistakes as me, but again, mistakes is crucial in learning, so don't expect rendering to be good as you expected on your first try. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, so you're bound to do it on your first try as well. Anyways, while we're just refining the eyelashes, I'd just like to say that what do you think of my new sprite? I just made a few of these that I have been using in the video. Sorry if they take up a bit of space on the render tutorial. Here I'm just filling in the eyelashes. Please just choose a different color rather than something similar to your hair color or any other color. Just don't do what I did. I'm just drawing the eyelid here. Just follow what I do, okay? Anyways, I will also be making a sort of special if I reach 1K, 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to like and subscribe if you want, if my channel is what you're kind of looking for. Also, if this render tutorial seems helpful by far, please do comment below. It would really help on the channel, and please do leave some tips, because I'm only a kid and I do not expect to know that much myself, so you might as well give me some tips. Who knows, maybe I'll even do a revamped render tutorial once my art improves. Also don't use a small sized brush when doing these lower tier ducts. I recommend using a thick brush, and you'll see that it kind of gets lighter when it fades, so I recommend using it at low opacity. But if you don't want them to merge together, go to the brush settings, click type, and turn off separate each brush stroke. That way they won't merge together. Here I'm just coloring in the lower eyelashes, and now I've only got to do one more line of eyelashes. That is kind of tiring, but don't worry, it's just a sort of base. Like, trust the process, guys, trust the process. And here's another tip: if you have complete faith in your art, if you think it's gonna turn out good, it will turn out good. But if you're afraid that it might not turn out good and that you're nervous, it might actually not turn out good as you expected. So make sure you have full confidence when drawing, okay? And you're also gonna need that when you're displaying your artworks to others. And I've also decided to probably open up commissions someday. Who knows, maybe I might, maybe I won't, but I definitely will one day. So yeah, I'm just putting in some brush fades over here. It is kind of annoying to see the light brown fades there, but it's just gotta be there. I mean, it is part of the line art. It's what I did, basically. But yeah, it has to happen. Also, rate my new sprite. It's based on my OC. You can rate it in the comments. I just decided to do this sort of drawing for the channel because I didn't know how or what other drawing to do, so I just decided to do this simple piece. Comment below if you found it so good so far. I also see a lot of other artists make these render tutorials, like Perico Draw. She's really good. You should go check out her channel. Here I just turn off the opacity to see how am I supposed to put the color down, because I like to add in another eye white. Also, make sure you check your values. Sometimes I just put a completely white or black layer above my art and then set it to saturation. That way it'll turn to grayscale, and then you can see your values and hues better. I think I remember. I learned this from Perico Draws. Again, go check out her channel. The link will be in the description. If it works, obviously. She is also one of the reasons why I decided to make this video. So Perico, if you're watching this, thank you so much. And I hope you have a good day. Also, I see that sometimes that artists don't make very helpful tutorials, and I also really hate tracers and stealers. Like you can, and I absolutely hate AI artists. Like, come on, does that really count as art? Anyway, so you're just gonna fill in the eye, the iris. It's called the iris, not the pupil, okay? The pupil is that black dark dot. And then you're just gonna start rendering the eyes. I'm using my custom glossy brush here. It should be in my posts. You can screenshot the QR codes and you'll be able to use them. I also like to add a bit of a desaturated darker color and then smudge it in. As you can see I'm doing here. You're just gonna use the smudge tool and smudge it a bit, like so. Make sure it doesn't smudge too much with the eyelashes. That's really important. You can also color pick the in-between color, the middle color, and then use that for your eyes. It's okay. It gives us more colorful feeling, you know, and breathe some life and variety into your art. You're also gonna make sure that the eye weights don't mix in with your eye color. It's really important. Okay, just click the undo button or color it in. Then you're gonna mix it in with a darker color, or you can paint it over with a other darker color, more desaturated color. Then I use a sort of more darker color to align the eyes a bit, just a little bit. You can just follow along and see what I do. It's not really that I cover the whole entirety of the eye. Anyways, you're gonna just smudge a little bit with the eye. This is kind of important, and then just smudge it out, you know, pull the darks out. It just looks nice. Just follow what I do. Then you pick a lighter color and brush it at the bottom of the eye. You can pick any random color, but I prefer to use it from the same color family that it's in. Then I use the smudge tool to smudge the color with the other colors. Make sure you do this. Then I'm gonna be making these sort of smudged ovals. I think it looks really pretty, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's okay. I just like to do this sometimes. Just looks really, really pretty. Kind of gives this sort of like there's sapphires in her eyes, you know. Then I just zoom out to check if it looks right or not. Sometimes I might smudge it a bit in the pupil, but if it doesn't look good, I don't. Then I just needed to make sure if the colors look the way I wanted to, and then I merge those two layers down. You don't have to merge the layer down if you don't want to. I also use the impasto brush, the little opacity brush that is at full opacity for some reason. I don't know how it works. And I use this sort of peachy color for the lips. I layer it over a layer. You can use a low opacity brush, but I'm using the impasto brush here. I'm making its sides a bit more thin, you know, just to give it this sort of fade thingy, like force fade. I also do this with layers. I like it. Sort of gives this more pretty color, you know. I also do a bit on it with the nose. Again, merge your layer down, okay? You just merge your layer down. And then add a new layer. This will be where the the next colors will come in. You see, if you know about a color wheel, blue is opposite to orange, making them complement each other. And then you're gonna use a sort of peachy orange and to brush it on the sides of the iris. You can use any color, but I prefer to use a peachy color, and then smudge it a bit. But if you don't want to smudge it, it's alright. I might have undone this. Sorry about that if you've already done this. Anyway, you're gonna merge the layer down, and now we can finally make the hair highlights. Just follow what I do. I'm going to be using a sort of peachy color and maybe a bit of yellows and whites. You can use any color you want, but make sure it just matches the color of your hair. I also like to use the smudge tool a lot. You can use the blur tool or the smudge tool, but I prefer the smudge tool more than the actual blur tool. Sorry for favoritism. Anyways, you're just gonna keep smudging and smudging. I know it's gonna be a lot of smudging, and that I might actually use it more than the actual drawing tool. But don't blame me, because I like using the smudge tool, and nobody can stop me. So then you're just gonna smudge it a little bit there, here and there. Just follow what I do. Anyways, I've also recently seen that sometimes whenever I upload a video, YouTube doesn't exactly count it properly. Like there's one time I posted my first attempt at digital art. It was nice. It got a few views, but YouTube didn't count that as an official video for some reason. I don't know why this happened, honestly, but I guess YouTube does sometimes glitch, because whenever I open it up for the first time, it just says that YouTube isn't responding and that I have to either close it or wait. I usually used to click close, but that would do worse for me. I meant like wait, but it would do worse for me, so I had to finally succumb and click close. Well, it is the state of the internet and stuff, you know, glitches happen a lot. But do tell me if I should do any fan art or stuff. I have been working on a recent drawing of Kasane Teto. If you know her, you know her. She's a Vocaloid. She's my favorite Vocaloid. Sorry, Miku and Miku fans. I'm sorry, but I just like Teto better. You know, I just see that Miku gets a lot of favoritism, and Teto's just pushed away in the shadows a bit. But Teto fans, rise up! We need to form together. Besides, Teto's really, really cool. Like, who couldn't love her? Look at that little adorable face of Teto. Just search it up. Like, so cute. How could you not love her face? Anyways, then when you're done with your highlights, just gonna, don't ask what I did here. I'm just checking in what is there. And then you're gonna merge the layer down. Then you're gonna add a new layer and choose a sort of pinkish color, pinkish peach. Yeah. Sorry, the color picker just does that for some reason. Just use your peach, okay? Use your peach. Then I'm gonna go in with the impasto brush, I think, and use it to color the blush. It's okay if it's looking a little messy, because remember, mistakes is crucial in learning. Remember that, guys. Don't hate on your art if it has mistakes. Remember this. Mistakes is crucial in learning, because everyone makes mistakes. Even the people you'd expect to be perfect make mistakes. Well, if you put too much pressure on yourself, then you might just end up doing things wrong. That's why you should never put pressure on yourself, and believe yourself to be good enough for anyone, even your Asian mom. Anyways, then I'm gonna just use a sort of light color and just brush it around the bang of my piece a bit, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna smudge it a bit or blur. I hate when the eyedropper just picks a color that I don't want to be picked up, but it's supposed to happen. Anyways, just follow what I'm doing, okay? Follow what I'm doing. And then you're just gonna blur it all down a bit. Don't ask why my blur tool is glitchy. This just happens a lot because even my own custom glossy brush, it lags as well. Not the line art one, though. I meant the coloring brush, the one that blends beautifully. But yeah, like, why does that have to happen to me? It's my own brush. I'm sorry if you might experience this when you're using my custom brush. Anyways, add a new layer, but also merge the layer down below on which you had airbrushed your highlight. And then over here, you're gonna pick a custom brush. I'm using the side brush. I will be linking, posting all the brushes I use, and you can screenshot them for free. So yeah, make sure to check those out after this video. And then you're just gonna touch up those, and then you use the smudge tool to smudge everything around. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure it looks nice and blends well. You can either use the smudge tool or the blur tool, and I like to sometimes turn on clipping so the color doesn't go outside of the lines. Just makes it feel a lot more natural and easier to color and smudge, you know? Just feels more easy. And then you can go in with your blur tool and soften those smudges up a bit. I also like to add them on the side bangs. Don't ask why the color isn't matching. I'm sorry if this happens, but you can color with your darker color around the side bangs as well, so that it feels more blended in. Okay, I've been doing this with my art ever since I think 4th or 3rd grade. I don't know, but I have been doing this a lot. And you're just gonna use the smudge tool to smudge everything around. I love the smudge tool. What about you? Anyways, you just keep smudging and smudging, and then you're gonna merge the layer down below. I like to merge my layers a lot, honestly. Then you're gonna finally add the hair highlights and the eye highlights, but first we're gonna do the hair highlights. Just gonna be putting some vertical lines first. I like to make them pretty thin, and then you're gonna just add some dots here and there, and then add some horizontal lines. I also like to sometimes add a thick highlight line before I do the thinner lines. Just give them more variety, you know. I just like how it looks, but you don't have to do the same, you know. It's your choice. I'm not your mom. Anyways, just follow what I do. You're also gonna just be doing this to other parts of the hair where the light hits. Make sure the highlights are in the exact position where the light will hit. It's really, really, very, very important. Anyway, now that you're done with that, you can smudge it a bit if you want, but got a bit messed up here with the smudge, so might as well have undone that. But you can smudge it to your liking if you know how to smudge it properly. Then finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, add a new layer, pick a white color, and also use a pointy little brush. I will be using the Telly brush words, and add the highlights. I bet you must have been waiting for this moment for like so long. I know it. Like, you know that feeling when you just want to do something so bad, but it has to be done at the end. And when you reach the end, you're just like this was worth it. This was all worth it, you know. It's kind of like that feeling. And I also like to add a sort of dot in the pupil, not the iris. Okay, don't confuse pupil and iris. Then you're gonna add new layer and set it to color burn. I'm gonna be picking a more desaturated color here, and then the brush I'm using will be the soft pen brush. Sorry for the little skip here, but I had to cut it out. It didn't look too good. Then you're just gonna set it to color burn and lower the opacity. Sorry if I mentioned using color burn twice. I'm very sorry. You can just skip that part a little. But if you don't want to, it's okay. Anyways, then you're gonna go to filters and select the noise filter. I like to add the noise filter because 1, it looks good, and number 2, when a stealer spots your art and they're like, ooh, I want to steal this person's art and claim it as mine. When they draw over your signature with their signature, but they first have to pick the color of the background or what's surrounding the signature. And once they do that, and when they post it, some people, like you and me, will notice that it doesn't blend very well. So they'll easily spot that it's fake and that it might be stolen or traced. But then you're gonna add a bit of chromatic aberration. You can either use the chromatic aberration of zooming or the regular chromatic aberration. And then finally, you can add your signature in any color you like. I'll be using a white color with a pointy brush, but you can use any sort of brush you like. It's completely okay, and you can also use any color. I used to do my signatures in text, but that was a bit too tiring, so I decided to just do it by hand. It's a lot more easy, but you can do it with either text or hand drawing. Also, a friendly reminder, I did not use my finger for this entire video. I used a stylus, a standard one. Here I'll be minimizing the size of my signature. Also, if you've reached the end of this video without skipping, thank you so much. I really hope this render tutorial helped a lot, and thank you so much for watching again. Make sure to like and subscribe, and bye. See you in the next video.